This is Rating Descending,
where we watch IMDb's worst 250 movies so you do not have to.
I'm Michelle St. Clair.
I'm Abigail Ward.
And this week we watched Vampire Suck. In this spoof of vampire-themed movies, teenager Becca finds herself torn between two boys. She and her friends wrestle with endless dramas that crescendo at the prom. Let's watch.
Yeah.
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 Let's
go there. Let's
Even
make
flow.
some mistakes. Let's go there, yeah. Let's go in this day.
We're doing Eddie Vedder, right?
Can you take me higher?
Oh, you're doing the guy from Creed?
Yeah. Creed.
Creed. I do get them confused.
I understand why. I think Eddie Vedder was the first person to go, yeah, in a song, and men were like, fuck.
But also they both have like the big long hair and the beat. Like, they have a similar vibe, and they both do the yeah.
I'll just be honest, I don't like Pearl Jam. I don't.
Here's the thing about Pearl Jam, right? Pearl Jam get lumped in with Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana as founders of grunge. And my take is that's only because they're also from Seattle. They sound nothing like grunge.
No, they don't.
They sound like classic rock.
Pearl Jam is not grunge.
They're not even alt rock.
Who the fuck is
They're
saying
just
they're grunge?
Regular classic rock.
Yeah, man.
It's not even to take away from them as a band, but they are not part of the Seattle music scene. They're a whole different thing.
Who the fuck, man?
There's no way you can tell me you listen to Alive by Pearl Jam and any song by the Smashing Pumpkins and tell me that those are from the same musical scene.
Yeah, fully.
There's no fucking way.
No, that's crazy. Who has said that? I'm going to go beat them up.
That's part of like music history. Those are like the three big grunge bands.
You're right. They are lumping them in because of Seattle.
That's just because they're from Seattle.
Different styles. But Creed, they're sick. Yeah. If Nickelback came and performed in Australia, I would probably go see them. Just because I want to see the crowd they pull.
Okay.
And I'd also enjoy it.
Okay. What I appreciate is your commitment to undermining our what's the word, like
friendship?
No. Whoa, what?
I don't know.
It was like not legibility,
credibility.
Like credibility. Yeah, your commitment to undermining the credibility we have on this podcast.
What do you mean?
Well, Nickelback. Now, listen, I think they're overly hated.
Yeah.
They are not a critically acclaimed band.
They're a good dad rock band.
They're a perfectly fine dad rock band.
It's not like you to say sorry. Now, not a different story.
Hey,
I've been down.
Hey, listen. You know, my mum didn't have much money growing up. I was in the Northern Beaches. Most of my mum's friends were also just poor people from the western side of the Northern Beaches. And let me tell you, I've listened to a lot of Nickelback. All right.
I guess for me, it's novel.
Nickelback with a case of 4X Gold. That was every weekend.
Oh, yeah. The 4X Gold.
Yeah. Full case.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm that's what I'm saying. I'm not coming at it from a hoity-toity position looking down upon Nickelback. I'm like, hey, this is the music of my people.
Whereas I am coming from a hoity-toity position in a potentially patronizing way.
Yeah. You said you wanted to just see the crowd. Going to a zoo? Wow, Abigail Ward.
No. I did, yeah, look.
Class
that's
peruser.
Fair enough.
You know what?
My mother only listened to classical.
Common People by Pulp, that was written about you.
Yeah, kind of. I have this like core memory of being in high school, and my art teacher told me that she was like, you think you're better than everyone, don't you? And she was right. She shouldn't have said it, but she was right.
Yeah.
And I've never forgotten it because I was like that. And still am like that. Did
it make you... Oh, okay, never mind. Because I was like, if it made you reassess, then maybe it was a good thing to say to you. But if it didn't, then...
Hey, I'm only 29. I've got lots of growing to go and no plans to get there. But there's time yet for me to grow.
Hey, look, I'm a big Abigail Ward fan, so it's not even like I'm going to be here being like, you're not better than everyone. I'm like, hey, I think you're great.
Oh, thanks, man. You're not an Abigail Ward detractor?
I'd say I'm your number one fan, but I imagine that's probably Claude.
That's probably Claude. But you're like a number two.
Number two fan? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of your whole thing.
Likewise.
That's why we're in business together, Buffy.
Yeah. Well, we're actually hostages together, if anything.
Oh,
Because
the
of the
podcast,
Boss Baby.
right? Of course, yes.
Because of Boss Baby.
Our child.
Yeah.
Oh.
Keep going. ASMR. Get it out? Did you get it all out?
I wonder if I'll keep any of it. It's just for listeners at home. We had to take a moment, and I had a big bunch of hummus that was really, really quite in my
Very
mouth.
cloying.
Yeah, very cloying. And
Whereas I was providing some ASMR by holding up my can of natural energy drink Leafy and going with my fingers like an influencer.
Yeah. A lot of them, they do like doing it on the mic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then they'll whisper into the mic, and then they'll say, "Oh, I got a little thing here. Wait, let me get it."
It is funny that because we're a very online generation, we make content for our mobile phones, for our screens.
Yeah.
That is online. It just means that we do the weirdest shit in real life to make it good virtually. I feel like it's also true that like my parents live next to an Insta influencer, quite a big one in Australia.
Wow.
Like she makes a lot of TikTok content.
Abby Chatfield?
No. But she lived in the apartment next to them. I think she moved out recently.
Oh.
But she apparently in real life was so awkward. Like online, she was like really confident, really, loud and outgoing. But in real life, she like would not look anyone in the eye. And I thought that was so fucking interesting.
Relatable though.
Yeah.
Relatable though.
I think this girl's clearly grown up in an online world. You
Yeah.
know, she knows how to do everything for the camera, but as soon as it's off, she's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Apparently she was also an asshole, but that's different.
Well, hey, speaking of assholes, this week we watched Vampires Suck.
Woohoo. This is not a good one.
No, it's not.
We should try and make this as brief as possible.
Crashing low after.
In fact, what's your rating?
Zero.
What was that?
Hillary, a zero. Give it a Hillary. I've been wrong. I've been there.
Look at this mess. Every time I watch it makes me less.
You know, for all I was saying about Nickelback, my favorite video of all time is the look at this graph.
Best video on Vine ever.
Especially just because it makes the guitar so awkward.
And he's just staring.
It's just staring. It's a great.
We're showing our age.
It's a great little meme there.
Yeah.
What a funny meme that I saw on the phone.
You know who wouldn't know that reference? The Alpha Gen Alpha.
Oh, surely that, all the Vines have been on TikTok now.
That's true.
They know them.
That's true.
They're aware of them. I never liked the Hurricane Tortilla one.
Me neither.
I don't care
More
for
like
it.
Hurricane Tortilla.
No, he
tortilla.
notably says, Abigail, the whole part of the whole thing is that he says tortilla instead of tortilla. If he said tortilla, it'd be even less amusing. It's barely amusing as it is.
I don't like that Vine either.
I don't care for it.
No. I do like I'm a lesbian. I thought you were American.
Yeah,
that kid was good. If that was the same kid, could be.
That's
Who
fun.
knows?
That's a fun one. I think we're talking about this because we've talked about Twilight 5 times. We've talked about Twilight parodies before. We've talked about 50 Shades and its relation to Twilight.
We've talked about a lot of parodies in general.
50 Shades parodies. We've talked about other parodies.
I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Why did I show up today?
It's such a crashing the last few weeks of the podcast, this week included, is the full scope of what this podcast has to offer. Hey, we liked this. Hey, look, it's just, what are we going to say about it,
It's like, oh, you want 40 minutes of content about this? If that? All right.
Here's the thing. My biggest problem with this movie, because we've watched a bunch of parody movies.
We have. We watched a lot recently. I think it's getting to me.
The found footage horror movies have been almost entirely replaced by parody movies.
And look, I think the found footage ones were worse. Don't get me wrong. I don't like these, but the found footage ones made me like Postal.
the found footage ones were the equivalent of like if just sitting there was worse.
Yeah.
This instead makes me out loud groan the whole time.
I will take this though
like a long
over the
sigh.
Ghost Dimension any day.
The Ghost Dimension was the one that I didn't like it, but like it had a Ghost Dimension. That's more than Devil's Due had.
There was like mention of a Ghost Dimension.
It was bad.
We saw it for like 10 seconds maybe.
The camera can see into the Ghost Dimension is a concept that made me stop paying attention and think about that as a concept.
And yet they did not really broach it in the film.
But it
they?
made me think about it. As
Well,
if Devil's Due made me think about nothing.
I would take this over Wounds any day.
Well,
I would take this over...
Wounds was a real low.
This is not as bad as those, in my opinion. This is terrible.
I don't know, man.
This is just another... Look, I didn't like this. I actually didn't like this. And again, like, I enjoyed Scary... I didn't enjoy Scary Movie 5, did I?
No. Not
I
really.
enjoyed...
I thought you would.
50 Shades of Black.
You enjoyed 50 Shades of Black. No, that's right.
No,
You enjoyed Scary Movie 5 more than Dance Flick, which I
right.
thought you would like.
They're all
and then
melding
Scary
into
Movie
one.
5, you were like, no, well...
Marlon Wayans has fucked up my memory of certain films.
And notably, both of them had, Black Swan like ballet parody dance thing, craziness.
There was a lot going on. But yeah, like I remember in Scary Movie 5, I was explaining to you why I liked it versus not liking Dance Flick.
Yeah.
And this was obviously another case of this sense of humor is just crass and there's nothing absurd to it.
A lot of this, my problem with this one specifically, a lot of them are just like crass stupidity.
Yeah.
This felt like it was not that. It felt like the joke repeatedly was to describe the movie.
Yeah.
Like, as if the joke, there's a bit where the teacher is like, sit next to a person you'll have long romantic tension with that will inevitably end up in 4 books and a movie franchise. Like, what's the joke?
Yeah.
That happened? That is the thing? That's not a joke.
It's shit to parody Twilight in that Twilight is so absurd already. It's just fun to watch the original and laugh at it. What's not fun is to watch the parody where they're making obvious jokes about what was silly. Like the scene where Bella comes into the classroom and Edward looks like repulsed by the smell of her is so funny in the original film because it's so weird. But in the parody, he's like clenching his nose and he's got like a nose stopper and then he's in a hazmat suit or whatever.
And then apparently the joke is that she does smell like tuna.
Yeah,
that's
she's got a tuna sandwich.
That's way less funny.
It's like way to take some of the most insane bits of Twilight that are so incredibly funny and just reduce them to nothing.
It's just like, say what you will about whatever, but like Top Secret is a movie that when it's made, I get the impression that the filmmakers, they don't hate spy movies.
Yeah.
I feel like they like them. Mel Brooks, I feel like, loves Westerns. And yet Blazing Saddles is made affectionately parodying it.
Yeah.
This movie clearly hates Twilight, and so it so smugly describes Twilight as if that's a joke.
Yeah.
Description is not comedy.
Yeah.
You can't just say it and then go, I've defeated... You see this online all the time by like, you reduce something by describing it.
Yeah.
If I can describe it with words, I have defeated you. No, you haven't.
Yeah.
That does not diminish something at all to be known.
Fully. And like, again, I kept thinking about 50 Shades of Black because I kept thinking about... they're both parodies of a single film, or a franchise.
Yeah.
Like the Twilight definitely made fun of the first 2 films rather than only the first.
Vampires Suck.
Vampires Suck.
Yeah.
But this was one film with 50
choice.
Shades of Black. But in 50 Shades of Black, again, it was more the ad-libbing between actors that made it fun, and Marlon Wayans just doing little verbal bits.
Like I thought 50 Shades of Black was bad, but I will give you the credit of like it treated 50 Shades as a play space.
Yeah.
For other jokes rather than just going like, and then this happened in 50 Shades. Wasn't that stupid?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Exactly. It felt like it was copying it scene for scene and then just like, as you say, verbally explaining why it was stupid.
The Anna Kendrick character comes in and is like, I'm going to be your best friend, but if you talk to this guy, I'll get you. And I'm like, is that your read on that character?
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
It sucked. I will say the girl playing Becca Crane. She was pretty good. She did a good Kristen Stewart.
She does the actively struggling to swallow something kind of performance.
And like a lot of the...
but that's what I mean, actively struggling to swallow something. Okay.
What are you doing? Sometimes she would do like a good, like, kind of faux deep voice like Kristen Stewart has. That like Jacob.
Yeah.
Edward.
She did good. And, spoilers for the end, but... in terms of all the reviews, one consistent thing is that her name's Jen Prosky. Her performance did actually get praise.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. She did a good job. At certain points, I was like, she's even pulling her lips into the same position that Kristen Stewart does with her teeth showing.
Yeah.
Like her top teeth are out. I was like, she was fine.
All right, let me get into the key details.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this movie came out in 2010.
The sooner we get in, the sooner we get out.
Exactly. This movie came out in 2010.
Yeah.
This really got me.
What?
Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, who directed epic movie Meet the Spartans, disaster movie, and Starving Games.
Oh, here we are.
All of which are on the list.
You know how they ask questions sometimes like, oh, if you could kill someone without any repercussions, who would you kill? I never know who to say, but now I do. I've got 2 targets.
All of those are on the list.
They fucking wasted my time. They've wasted my life. And sure, no one's making us do this except a hypothetical boss baby in the IMDb realm. However,
if you've never listened, that's an insane thing to do.
But I'm here and I'm locked in.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed about it. I don't want to be here.
Remember when you wanted to fight Tom Green?
That was so long ago. I was so innocent.
Compared to Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
Tom Green was never the problem.
Tom Green, I apologize, Tom Green. I wanted to fight Gregory Plotkin.
I remember. Now I just want to, I don't want to hug Tom Green. He's kind of a weird guy. I don't want to do anything with Tom Green.
I'll give him yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. That's better than fighting him.
I don't want any social engagement with Tom Green.
Listeners at home, if you know a way that we can fight Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com.
Or email geo_9317 if you know anyone that has contacts to the Spice Girls.
This was starring Jen Prosky, Matt Lanter, Chris Riggy, and Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong made me, at least when I first saw him, when Ken Jeong is in things, I enjoy him, even when he's stupid and silly and the movie shit.
I'm so 50-50 on him.
I know.
I like him in a lot of Community. I don't like him in all of Community.
I think I was so hungry for anything in this film though, that when he came up, I was like, oh.
I think in this, he does all of the shticks that I like. Get him continuously put in movies that I don't find funny, personally.
Yeah.
But notably, of course, he's a returning actor from both Furry Vengeance and Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son.
Yep.
As was Dave Foley, who appears at the end as the principal. He was in Postal.
Who's he in Postal?
He's one of the main guys, remember? And then he has the whole bit where he comes out as gay and it's played genuine. He's like, no, he's not doing a bit. He's like, no, I'm really gay, guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Because that was the movie we really turned around on. We hated that, then we loved it.
Postal was crazy.
Yeah, and Dave Foley was funny in it.
Yeah, Postal was one of the most unique films we've had on this podcast.
You know what? 2 weeks in a row now, we've had a kid in the hall.
Kid in the Hall.
One of the kids in the hall.
I should watch Kids in the Hall.
You should.
Yeah,
I think you
love
really
it.
I do love it.
Yeah. And look, the Canadians don't get enough clout.
They don't get enough cred.
Yeah.
They produce Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
I genuinely think you'll really enjoy it. It's quite absurdist. It's for 5 dudes, quite feminist at times, very queer friendly.
It was
I guess
80s
because
or
of Dave
90s?
Thompson. 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But early mid 90s.
Yeah. Nice.
I think Mark McKinney, it's clearly 2 groups plus Scott Thompson.
Yeah.
Because there's Dave Foley and what's the other guy's name? The guy who's Pleakley in Lilo and Stitch. I always forget his name. Kevin McDonald. Those 2.
Yeah.
Mark McKinney and Bruce McCullough were 2 different duos, and they came together with Scott Thompson, who's also in Larry Sanders' Show. Mm-hmm. He's the assistant later in the show. Anyway, they all then came together to form one group, and you can see that those 3 different groupings quite a lot. I don't care for Bruce McCullough as much. Mark McKinney I think is funny enough, but I think I particularly like Dave Foley, Kevin McDonald, and Scott Thompson.
Okay.
But I do think one of my favorite sketches is a Mark McKinney sketch.
Okay.
Which is this is how expensive this is, and it's pretty funny.
Do they have any women?
No. That's
okay.
It's the 90s comedy scene.
That's all right.
Yeah. I wish
women weren't funny yet.
But quite notably, one of the more innovative things they did is that when they portray women, they don't do the very old school thing of isn't it funny that they're dressed up as women? Oh, ha ha ha, look at them wearing a very bad wig going, oh, mama. No, they're doing it really quite played straight. doing a performance as women.
I feel the same way about when Fry and Laurie would do female characters where they'd always dress up as like, old grandmas. And the joke wasn't, I'm in a dress. The joke is, this woman's crazy.
Yeah.
That was always, it never felt disrespectful. If anything, it felt like they had a fun time doing it. And so they would always have these like really eccentric outfits on and yeah, it never felt like it was being weird about it.
Yeah.
Which I always appreciated.
They were really good with that. They were also known for having these sketches that are sometimes just straight monologues. Dave Foley's great at them. Scott Thompson had a recurring character who is this, because Scott Thompson's gay, which is part of why it was a very queer-friendly show, and has this recurring gay character who just will do like a 3-4 minute monologue that is just this incredible piece of comedy.
Yeah, nice.
It's so good. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy Kids in the Hall. And hey, listeners, I know that was like a 5-minute diversion about Kids in the Hall, but
we haven't got much.
We haven't got much. I could talk for longer about Kids in the Hall. I really quite like Kids in the Hall.
Anything not to talk about this.
When I was a teenager, they were like my favorite sketch group for a while.
Oh.
I liked a lot of sketch comedy in the 90s. They don't really do sketch shows anymore.
Not really.
This is the thing I was talking about the other week with bands, right? It feels like even that has come through with comedians. We've increasingly worshipped the solo. We don't have comedy troupes anymore.
No, we really don't.
Yeah.
It's a lot of solo stand-up comedians
who have podcasts instead of here's a set of 5 guys who have a show.
It's so funny. I think it's really hard to find the right people to collaborate with. People that have a good group of people that they work well together with are always really lucky. Like it's hard to find people that you gel with.
But it brings so much more
It does.
with each other than many of the attempts to have like one person has a sketch show.
Yeah.
It always feels like they're missing something, and it's usually another voice.
I wonder if we'll find that the trend will go back again, and then
I
we'll
hope
start
so.
seeing more troops and more bands.
As someone who is definitely better when part of a group where I can hide a lot of my faults, I really hope that the group dynamics come back.
And hey, as someone that lives in inner Melbourne and has seen a fair few gigs in the live music scene here, there's still plenty of bands.
Oh yeah. There's still plenty of
bands.
There's still plenty of these groups in the indie scene. I just mean as a mainstream trend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Some would say there's already almost too many bands.
Yeah. You could also say that the only place that we're really expanding on groups is relationships. Polly is in.
Polly has been taking all of the bands.
There's
and
no
comedy
bands
troupes.
and there's no sketch shows because of Polly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. The budget for this, oh my God. The budget for this was $20 million. How much do you think it made?
I want to believe it didn't make a lot. I'm going to say, oh God, I'm going to be disappointed, aren't I? You're giving me such a good blank stare. Like I
Thank
really
you.
can't read you at all in this moment. You're both sympathetic but conniving.
Yeah.
Mischievous but, wholeheartedly sorry for me.
That's the look I'm going for.
Yeah. Did they make 25 million?
$81.4 million.
Oh, that is so depressing.
And I noted down, when I read that, when doing the research, I started to get genuinely a little upset. I was doing the research. It was one of the last things I did, having read about this movie and watching it and being frustrated. And then I read that it made $81.4 million. And I out loud went,
yeah, that's horrible. That is so disheartening.
thinking about like my own struggles with money, but also like career and all that. And like reading that this made $81 million. I got a little upset.
What year did it come out?
2010.
2010. I guess Twilight was really hyped at that point,
So that's like
right?
$300 million at this point.
Yeah, let's do the math.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's big Twilight era.
Yeah.
But still, negative word of mouth should have tanked this.
I know, but I guess it was the teenagers that wanted to hate on Twilight went to go see this, right? Like maybe a lot of boys went to go see this.
Oh, let me tell you, reading the reviews, yeah, that's what it is. Now, for the overview, I had this problem when doing 50 Shades of Black.
It's the same.
It's the plot. I've read the overview for Twilight and New Moon.
So the plot of
can't-
Twilight, but a parody.
Yeah, I can go through it, but it's just beat for beat the same movie but shorter, so
Yeah.
that it can also include beat for beat New Moon.
To help you out, here's what I can summarize it as.
Yes, please.
And this is Twilight, so just think of this but parodied.
Yeah.
Bella
Think about this,
Swan.
but every scene someone comes in and they go, this is the thing that's happening.
Becca Crane, Bella Swan, moves to Forks, and falls in love with Edward, who is a vampire, and he dumps her because he realizes it's too dangerous to have a female, like a human girlfriend. And then she's really sad. And then her old friend Jacob, who is like part of a Native American tribe in the area, is like a werewolf. And then she's going to get with him, but she doesn't 'cause she's too obsessed with Edward. And then how does it end? He proposes to her.
Well, but the Volturi come and they try and get Edward because Edward tries to kill himself in front of everyone.
And then he proposes to her at the prom.
Proposes to her at the prom.
And that's it.
That's it.
Do you need to know more? I don't think so.
No, because it was just that. It was just that.
Have you watched any good films recently?
No, I've watched this.
Yeah, same.
Spice World.
Spice
Crossroads.
World. Spice World would be my answer to anything. Like for the next 3 weeks. Watched anything good recently? Spice World.
Spice World.
I'm Stinky Spice.
I'm Silly Spice.
And we're the Spice Twins.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're an offshoot.
I like that we're twins. We're not sisters.
The music's bad. The music's not great.
The music is not good.
Our outfits are even worse.
Yeah. They do not have good fashion sense.
No. No. Basically just wearing what I'm wearing now.
Well, I would say that you, Abigail Ward, have a good fashion sense.
Thank you. I don't think it's very special or outstanding, but
I think it's very put together. Like,
thank you.
When you go about, I'm like, this is a very put together. This doesn't read as a regular outfit. It's like regular streetwear, but done well.
Oh, that's nice of you. I always think that's kind because...
You have a good color palette and you have a clear aesthetic.
I know my color palette. I know the colors I like and the fits, like the shape of clothes that I like. But I'm also very lazy and I hate thinking about what I have to wear.
Yeah.
So I stick to basics and then I just layer with something that I trust and like. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've kind of been wearing the same shit for like 2 years.
Oh,
I haven't bought any new clothes.
I do, because I was thinking a thing that I think about myself all the time, because I also have quite a distinct set of clothes that I wear. Like, I'll mix it up, but I generally will wear black pants, a shirt, and then my denim jacket.
Yeah.
I think we'd both be easy to turn into cartoons because you would see the outfit and you'd be like, well, that's them.
Yeah, and what I do is that instead
and
of...
the hair.
I don't buy 4 different kinds
Your
of...
gorgeous blonde hair.
Oh, thank you.
And my brown fringe.
I don't wear I don't have like 5 pants that are like my staples and I rotate between them. I usually operate on 1 pair of pants at a time, maybe 2 that are duplicates.
That's me, baby.
And then I can just wear the pants and I change the top.
Yeah.
And that's it. And even then, the top is usually a black turtleneck.
We're operating on the same sort of principle.
Yeah. It's literally like lazy fashion 101, where like I feel good in this outfit, but I put minimal thought into it.
It fits well. It's they're well chosen pieces.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
my
you.
point.
I love this is my dark grey cashmere turtleneck that I got from Uniqlo.
I mean,
they're usually 200, got it for 80.
Oh, wow.
So it's the good cashmere.
I'm not dressed super well right now because more than anything, I have realized there are holes in my wardrobe.
Oh no. Have you got moths?
I'm good at cold outside.
Yeah.
Cold inside, I'm not prepared for. And my house is very poorly insulated.
Yeah.
I don't have great jumpers. So right now, this is not my jumper that I'm wearing. And it is not necessarily a very fashion forward jumper.
Yeah.
But if I was to go out, I would take it off and I would then instead put on my denim jacket and a scarf and gloves. But all of that is sort of tedious to wear at home when recording for hours.
So do you need like an outfit that you can wear inside and outside is what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying I tend to change when I go outside because I'm prepared to be cold outside with things like coats and stuff. But wearing a coat, wearing like a pea coat indoors feels terrible.
Hey,
just sitting around.
I'm going to ask you something.
Yeah.
And you might cringe because I probably would have a year ago, but my life has been changed. Have you ever considered an hoodie? Because I would roll my eyes at them and be like, whatever. Have you worn an hoodie? Because I was gifted an hoodie and I was like, whatever. And then I put it on. Wow.
So I have been lent an hoodie semi-recently.
It's very like somber. I was lent an hoodie.
Because it's antithetical to my shtick. Like you, because I feel like you like fashion. You just don't care about thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I find thinking about clothes stressful, but I like fashion.
Yeah, exactly. I do find it stressful because I don't want to wear things I have to think about all day and be like, am I pulling this off?
But I nowadays choose my clothes carefully, and then I like thinking about my outfit that I'm going to wear. I then just second guess myself and get anxious a lot.
Yeah.
I want to simplify it.
Yeah.
So an hoodie is antithetical to that. For anyone, overseas. I didn't realize they don't have hoodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Because they
It's
don't need
an
them everywhere.
Australian thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
mostly because our homes are built with such poor insulation that we had to find a way to put it on our bodies.
We needed to make a blanket to wear.
Yeah, that's how
And that's
cold
what a hoodie
Australian
is.
homes are.
It is truly the most comfortable thing in the dead of an Australian winter.
So comfy.
It is so soft. They wash easily. And the fact that, just with an hoodie, that we're really not talking about the movie, that just the fact that it has these sleeves where they bell out because it's big and thick and warm, but they clasp at the wrist. So you're not like struggling to grab things. It's not like a big fat thing over your hands. It's perfect around the hands, but if you get too cold, you can pull them over your hands.
Yeah.
And then you've got the hood if you want to keep your head warm. But more than anything, you really feel like you are wearing a blanket at ease around the house and you have never, ever been warmer. And because this place is a beautiful old like Victorian cottage kind of house that you're in, it's so not insulated and so cold in here at winter. I think your life would change for the better in an hoodie.
It has. Having been lent this hoodie.
Yeah. Is it there?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah. I have been wearing it. My one qualm is my feet get so cold, but that's just because I have poor circulation in my extremities.
Do you have
my hands
really
and feet.
thick, fluffy socks?
I do have some fluffy socks. The problem, if my feet get really cold, it's then hard to like, because those operate by like, it retains the body heat, but if there's no body heat in there, it's hard.
Yeah.
Right. I have this problem. I got gloves for the gym because the barbells and it gets so cold. And because I already have cold hands, it started hurting the other day. And I was like, I need this almost like sensory issues. I get so bad with temperature. And it sucks as well because more recently I've been starting to get into more sort of crop tops.
Yeah.
Which are less fun in winter because it's quite cold.
Don't think you should go for the crop top in winter.
No, it's quite chilly.
Vinnies do $5 thick woolly socks, but like inside it's the texture of the inside of an hoodie. So it's like having that around your feet, and then the underside is big and thick, and it has like little pads so you don't slip on floorboards. $5 from Vinnies. They're men's socks, but they fit every pair of feet.
I need some like feet warmers to get the initial heat going. And then I've got some, because I do have some big fluffy socks.
Yeah, but these are different.
If my feet are warm.
Because big fluffy socks are one thing, but these have two layers. And so my feet have never been warmer. It's like wearing slippers, but they're socks.
Okay. All right. I believe
Vinnies. Go to the Vinnies in Thornbury.
I'll go to the Vinnies in Thornbury.
Get them before winter's over. No one cares about this.
You're going to hate me. I do want to talk about 3 different things with the movie itself.
Okay, all right. So we have to talk about the movie?
We have
It's a fucking waste of space.
At least to pay lip service. As much as I don't think any of the bits he had to do in the movie were good, I do love Diedrich Bader. So he played the dad of the movie. He played the Charlie character, which was Frank in this movie.
Yeah. I like him too. What's he been in?
So he is, more recently, he was in season 3 and 4 of Veep. Or was he in 5? 4 and 5.
I've actually just been rewatching Veep because of the election coming up. Yeah. And it's
Kamala Harris has managed to out Hillary Clinton in terms of being even more like Selena Meyer.
Yeah. Have you seen
right down to the president resigning? Like, it's fucking insane.
Do you have Binge? Are you watching it on Binge?
I have it on my...
yeah. It's on Binge, and like on Binge, they can put down keywords. So someone's job is to find funny, relevant things to put down as a keyword, and one of them is coconut tree.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny. No, Veep he's really good in Veep. His low, deep voice is immaculate.
Diedrich Bader is good, and he was good in this. He was good as Charlie.
He's in one of the Lego Batmans or something, or maybe he plays Batman somewhere. Anyway, I know him primarily because growing up, a show that is not my
neighbor.
He's my neighbor. Growing up, a thing that is now not available anywhere because of music licensing issues is the Drew Carey Show. Yeah. Which had Drew Carey and then notably Ryan Stiles and Diedrich Bader as his 2 friends.
No way. And Diedrich Bader was in that?
Yeah, he's one of the main characters in that show.
Watching snippets of it, maybe because of you. Maybe that's where I saw it. But I have seen, and it's like him in The Office.
Yeah. In The Office and at home and stuff.
Yeah, and there's that bigger lady with the curly hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
That's
good.
probably why you wouldn't have seen Diedrich Bader if you saw it, because Diedrich Bader doesn't work at that office.
Oh, okay.
So if you saw scenes from that bit, he wouldn't be in that bit.
He wouldn't be there, no.
But that show was quite funny and quite innovative. My mum loved the opening theme and stuff. She loved that show. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
I really want to get my hands on it again.
It's crazy that you can just lose shows as well. Like the fact that there are some shows that are just inaccessible or forgotten. Like one of my favorite shows that you've heard a million times is People Like Us, the British faux documentary show, mockumentary. There's one episode of it on YouTube with David Tennant. The rest are lost.
Well,
I can't find them.
It's fascinating because I've talked on the podcast before about the whole thing with De La Soul, innovative hip hop sampling group from the 90s, who got completely fucked by the transition from they had licenses for vinyl and CD, but not for digital, and then music licensing increased drastically in cost for digital, and they couldn't get the rights, and so their music was gone for decades. Same thing with Drew Carey, and same thing with all these home releases where the music licensing was done with the assumption that it would just be playing on air then. And then for home media, it's just too expensive because record companies are fucking price gouging. You know?
Good rant.
I like Diedrich Bader.
I like Diedrich Bader too. He was funny in this. There's a scene where Becca rips his moustache right off of his face.
He's good in that scene.
That was kind of funny. Yeah. It was a kind of funny bit.
Like, he's funny enough that anytime it was like giving him a runway, he was funny.
And look, don't get me wrong. There was one or two absurd things that I never laughed at this film.
Conversely, Ike Barinholtz was not funny in this at all.
Who's hit that?
He played Charlie.
Isn't Charlie her dad?
Oh, sorry. No, he played the
Jacob's dad? Jacob's uncle or whatever?
Yeah. He played that guy.
Yeah.
He's not funny in this.
No, it wasn't great. But what I was going to say is I didn't really laugh much in this. Like, I don't think I laughed at all. But there was one bit where she's having sex that she's trying to come on to him and she is suddenly like really kinky even though she's never had sex before and she's in like some latex bra thing, whatever. And there's this bit where she's on top of him and she takes the ring off of his or her finger and she puts it in her mouth and she just crunches it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of funny.
That's a very Abby joke.
Yeah.
In a good way.
It's ridiculous.
Very funny. I do think this is what I mean in the phoning it in of it all. There's a bit where because it's vampires, they have a Buffy stand-in. To parody the character of Buffy.
That sucked.
They have a blonde woman wearing a t-shirt that says Buffy.
I was thinking about that. I was like, you really couldn't identify her any other way than to say, why is Buffy wearing a Buffy shirt?
Yeah. You just did it so that the audience gets that it's Buffy.
She doesn't look that much like Sarah Michelle Gellar. She's wearing all she's got is one steak.
Buffy has quite an iconic look with her hair and her leather jacket. Literally, Buffy in the movie famously wears a shirt that says "Vampires suck."
Yeah,
that's
do that.
The name of this movie.
And also, like, I'm sure Buffy has there's another character in Buffy that could have also been there to show this is Buffy.
What a fucking tee up!
It's lazy. It's actually like a lazy comedy, and it
made me so mad.
That's why I'm like, why should we devote any time talking about it? You know.
The last thing I had is I had the very last thing I do want to talk about though.
Yeah.
Is they had the Jort Boys. Where the Jort Boys
about the Jorts.
Then sing and dance to It's Raining Men.
Because the joke is that they look gay in it.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a joke like, how weird are the Jorts? The joke is they look gay.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Both Bella and James, who's meant to... No, the Jake, I think, is the James parody.
The James parody? Who's James?
James is in the first movie. There's like the trio. There's the they make the Black Eyed Peas joke in the thing. The one who's not Will.i.am or Fergie.
Yeah. Not the redhead.
Yeah, not the redhead, not the black guy, the white guy.
Yeah.
Like both that guy and Bella are both like their reaction is just to sort of go. Oh no, sorry, it was the Laurent, the black guy. It was that guy.
Yeah.
He was just going as if it's like it's inherently cringe for them to be doing a gay dance.
Because it's funny because they're gay.
Come on,
There's also a bit where the guy that's playing Jasper is looking at Becca. And he imagines her head as a Big Mac because he's so hungry.
Some of the worst special effects I've seen in the movie.
I was like, that's it? That's all you got?
That's it? Isn't that funny?
It was really bad.
One thing I thought was really silly, I'll say, in the Raining Man Jort Boys scene is that they then try to eat Laurent, but they eat him like they're the Cookie Monster because they don't eat him. They just throw all the bits of him around.
That bit was kind of fun. There's like a lot of legs flying everywhere.
They don't eat him. They just throw his bits everywhere.
Sometimes you eat a bit like the Cookie Monster.
Oh, fuck. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Yes. Well, it's all hands.
I get it. I get it. I'm upset because you're right.
Yeah.
IMDb trivia.
The voiceover artists who dubbed the German version of the original Twilight movies also did the dubbing for their corresponding parts in this film.
Great.
Which I think is both fun and odd
Yeah.
as a choice.
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer makes a cameo in one scene. The cover of October 1st, 1999 issue of Entertainment Weekly featured Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy wearing a sleeveless blouse with Vampire Suck written all over it. This is what I was saying. This is what I was referencing.
And yet they didn't choose
They had the fucking tee-up of a lifetime. Okay.
And they just chose a Buffy shirt.
Buffy in hot pink. Fuck you,
if
man.
your parody is that bad that you have to label the person you're parodying, just try harder.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Unlike most Friedberg and Seltzer films, this movie managed to stay focused on making fun of Twilight than cramming in references to other recent movies.
Well, it was just a Twilight parody.
I love when the trivia is clearly just some guy has a thought. Because that's not trivia. And here's the last one, which is, I would say, a spin and a classic. The film received no advanced screenings for critics. Unsurprisingly, the critics hammered it.
So good.
Don't
Not
it-
screened for critics.
Didn't hear some reviews?
Yeah, man.
All right, this movie is 4% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
3.4 on IMDb.
3.4.
Yeah,
Are we getting down?
we are.
Was it 3.4 when we locked it?
This is the first of the 3.4s.
Exciting.
So, in terms of critic reviews, the Rotten Tomatoes critical consensus was witlessly broad and utterly devoid of laughs. Vampire Suck represents a slight step forward for this Friedberg Seltzer team.
Oh, that's rough.
So funny to say, like, this was so bad, but it was better.
How bad are the other ones?
Well, they're all on the list, and we haven't watched this. This is the first one we've watched of theirs.
So Meet the Spartans is coming up.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that movie.
I know.
So much.
Epic movie, I think, is in the bottom 15 or 10 or something.
I remember seeing it when it came out and I was just so angry. So annoyed by it.
Jake Horowitz from Collider said, not a single thing in its dreadful 82 minutes running time is even remotely worth watching or considered even slightly entertaining. He then wrote that no amount of review can make up for what I witnessed while watching Vampires Suck. How wrong I was to assume that it was even watchable, because with each overdone hit on the head or kick in the balls, I cringed at the thought of this movie making nearly $80 million worldwide
This is
and
you.
imagining people actually laughing in a theater somewhere.
This was your reaction.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It makes you like lose hope in the industry altogether.
I know. I'm like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Here's an IMDb review titled, This Movie Needed to Be Made, smiley face, by Fudge Monkeys 79. In my few years, I'm 19. I've never seen something as popular yet as terrible as the Twilight movies. They are the ultimate proof in this world that just because something is popular doesn't mean that it's any good. This movie is brilliant in that it takes all of the flaws, awkward moments, and overall ridiculousness of the series and magnifies it. This movie is so self-aware that it's just brilliant. I have to say that I didn't enjoy date movie, epic movie, Meet the Spartans, or disaster movie at all. In fact, I think that they are terrible. They're perfect examples of how to waste dozens of millions of dollars on overdone, unfunny parodies of lovable movies. The twist with Vampire Suck, though, is that it's a parody of something that deep down inside we all really do hate, unless you're an obsessed teenage girl with the IQ of a tomato. No offense.
Oh my God.
So please, if you're one of those persons who listens to everyone else's opinions, please don't. Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie a 3%, which is ridiculous. This is an insult because they gave The Last Airbender an 8%. This film deserves at least a 75%. This movie will make you laugh until you crap thunder. What?
Whoa.
What?
Never done that before.
I never knew that was an option.
Actually, maybe I have. I don't know.
And if you have, and, and if a movie makes me laugh more than 15 times, I like it. A couple of recent examples of really funny movies are Date Night, The Other Guys, Dinner for Schmucks, She's Out of My League, The A-Time, and Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hang on. Say that first film again.
Date Night?
Say it right.
Oh, Date Night,
Date night.
Friday night, Date Night.
Friday night, day night.
So have a nice day, go see this movie, and don't be uptight and not accepting. Have an open mind, and you'll laugh yourself silly.
Not
This-
accepting.
this-
Says the person that called like teenage girls with the IQ of fucking tomatoes for liking Twilight.
No offense, though.
No offense, obviously.
This movie was better than all the Twilight movies combined. 10 out of 10.
Obviously, I don't know who that person is or what demographic they lie in.
Yes,
But
you do.
I can assume.
Yeah.
And there's just, we encounter so much hate against teenage girls.
Yeah. Here's another one titled, This Is So Funny, by Napcan-46197. Even in 2023, I still laugh at it. I don't know why its rate are so low. You must watch it! It's a parody of Twilight. And it's hilarious. Cast are so good. The references are well, and if you are bored and we want to watch something funny, this will be one of the best choices for you to watch. It still says my review is so short, so I'll add something stupid to fill this so you don't have to read this part. I don't even know what else to add. Just let me submit it. Okay, how are you? If you're still reading this, you deserve to be asked how you are. Anyway, from now I care for you because you're still reading this. Parentheses, finally, it's over. 10 out of 10.
Is that like a 12-year-old maybe?
Maybe. Here's the last one I've got, titled I Liked This Movie by Meggie Mag.
Meggie Mag?
Yeah, but Meggie is with 3 Gs.
Cute.
When I saw Twilight, I got so disappointed by the actors in the movie itself that I just got totally mad every time I met any kind of news about it. It is insane how they could ruin the whole with writing over every single scene, making it more depressive than it should be, and how irritating the actors played their characters, except one or two like Alice and Emmett. So I decided to watch the comedy version. I strongly believe if Jen and Matt played Bella and Edward, they would have done a way better performance than Kristen and Robert. Sorry from the ones loving them. I could also laugh out loud on the jokes, and I bet the director did a better job on this. At least copied the same method, which with better jokes made it more enjoyable. 10 out of 10.
Hey kids, stay in school.
It's crazy. I don't know where these people get off being so dumb and saying that Twilight is so dumb.
It's kind of the summary of everything about this podcast. Where do they get off being so dumb?
We know we're dumb.
Yeah, we're
not
aware.
we're not claiming we're better.
No, we're claiming we're stupid.
Well, I do think I'm better than this.
Yeah, look, most people are.
Well, I was about to say good. That's not true. This was the people of IMDb.
Yeah.
How was your review? What is your review?
My review. I love. This might be, by the way, an episode where we have done the least talking about the film.
I think we've broken our record.
Really, honestly, this could break a record. Because
you told me you recommended some clothes from Vinny's.
I did. I was like, go up the road. $5 socks.
We just chit chat.
I'm gonna go through your fridge next and be like, oh, yep. You know, you should get hummus from Aldi because it's like $10 off at the moment. I'm just going to be giving you some home like lifestyle tips.
We talked again about the Spice Girls.
We did. We did. And also just to touch on hating teenage girls, to talk again about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Sansa gets so much hate, and she's a teenage girl.
She's
a
great.
teenage girl in the show with no agency, and there's so many men that watch the show and they're just like, Sansa's so annoying. I'm like, she's a fucking hostage. She's
great.
a victim.
She's the best part of the show.
I love Sansa, and obviously at the beginning she's not as interesting because she has no fucking agency. And is that her fault?
Arcs work,
No,
though.
exactly.
She has to start from somewhere.
So when we started watching it and Claude was like, oh, Sansa's so annoying, I was like, shut up. And he was like, whoa.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I would
she's
too.
not annoying. You haven't seen the rest of the show yet. She's a hostage. I did like this whole spiel and he was like, okay. Okay.
Oh, she's
like a bit of a
she's
sore
she's a
spot.
teenage girl. Shut up, all right?
Yeah.
Be
It's like
quiet.
when people hate Skylar White. Anyway.
I don't care about what people say about season 8. Sansa's arc is good in it.
I love Sansa. Anyway, my review, nothing. 1, 0, 0.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
Yeah.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this movie about as many, one whole point for every laugh I gave it. So 0. This movie got 0.
Yeah.
This is not a movie. It is a space where a movie should be.
Yeah.
It is what happens when someone thinks of a movie in their brain, and then I'm seeing a direct plug-in of their scattered, stupid head.
$80 million.
$80 million.
I want to go home.
Well,
I don't want to be here.
well,
Let me out.
if you don't want to be
Let
here,
me out. Let me out.
if you want to let Abby out,
chains.
you can follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Rate Descend Pod, on TikTok at Rating Descending, or you could email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com with how quickly you want Abby to be let out.
Let me out. I'm trying to rip my shackles off the wall.
And
it's
I'm
not
tightening them.
No, it's just a little baby.
Oh, yeah, it's the baby.
Is he in a suit?
Yeah, he's boss baby.
That's what I thought.
He's in
yeah.
a suit.
Yeah.
As Olivia Bernard once depicted.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
Where were you at in the spiel?
I finished my bit. It's your bit.
And You can also find us on YouTube at Rating Descending.
If you love that kind of professionalism, you can find us on our own
Falling
social.
apart.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at michelle.stclair or at Letterboxd at M St. Clair. What's my name? Yeah, M St. Clair.
And hey, don't forget to leave us a review wherever you get your podcast because it really makes a difference. Remember when Mel Killingsworth pointed out that we could just she was like, wow, I can't believe you do one for every episode. Like you record the ending outro for every episode. And I think maybe you and I both went, oh yeah.
I think
There's a world where we wouldn't have to do that. No, I like doing it.
I like doing it.
I think it, tailors every episode.
It does.
But, I think we were both like, oh yeah, we could do that.
Well, also, it adds unique jokes and flavor that I think
Yeah.
the audience are still here for.
Like lack of professionalism, falling apart, forgetting
This
lines.
is usually where our brains start to turn into mud,
Yes.
which I think is some of the audience's favorite part, as I assume they are masochistic,
Oh yeah.
Or we're masochistic. They are sadistic.
Everyone involved is a combo of both, I would say.
So that was Vampires Suck. Abby, what are we watching next week?
Michelle, great news. Next week, we are not watching 365 Days as we were destined to watch because apparently it's kind of icky. So instead, we are watching the one and only A Good Year.
Yes!
The most middling of average films
The
ever to
perfect
exist.
5.
And I'm really excited.
I'm so keen.
We have been talking about it for over 4 years now.
Yeah.
It's become a running joke. It became a running joke 4 years ago. And I'm really excited to actually watch it and break down how we feel about it.
All right. Hell yeah, let's do
Hell
it, baby.
yeah, man.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's called A Good Year because that's the vintage of wine.
Yeah.
Oh. I always thought that movie only takes place over a couple weeks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
He's not there for a year.
Jesus. Okay, it's wine.